ATG calf system. To be clear, I'm not claiming this to be some special bodybuilding system. This is a user-friendly, equipment or no equipment system to support well-functioning lower legs. As a formerly fragile, pathetic athlete, this has been really helpful for me. The ATG calf system can start with just a wall for straight leg and bent knee calf raises, both of which are easier on 2 legs and harder on 1 leg. You have 2 main calf muscles. Your gastrocnemius is your upper calf muscle. The name comes from the Latin words belly and leg because of how it bulges out like a belly of your leg. And your soleus, from the Latin word for sandal, is your lower, deeper calf muscle. Straight leg seems to emphasize the upper calf well, and bent knee seems to emphasize the lower calf well. But in the ATG system, we don't focus on which is better, we just learn how to use both. And with a wall plus enough reps, you can make fantastic results without any equipment. With weights, we use a single leg standing calf raise, using only the fist of the non-working side, so we know exactly how much we're actually lifting. And I strive to use at least 20% of my pain-free close stance heel elevated squat for the same reps. In other words, 8 reps with 200 pounds in that squat would mean at least 40 pounds in this calf raise. The structural balance numbers I use are not absolutes, just helpful guides for common sense long-term development. And for the soleus, a seated calf machine makes it incredibly user-friendly to add weights. A dumbbell or kettlebell can also work, but it takes a lot more weight and reps to challenge your soleus because you're not lifting your body's weight as well, like you are in a standing calf raise or even with a seated calf machine. Machines vary in their inherent load, so there's no accurate percentage to use for the soleus. And for example, this kettlebell is 90 pounds, about half my weight. I wouldn't want to have to put much more than this on my thigh, and even this is easy for 20 plus reps. So it's just not a super practical measure of strength. So my advice is just enjoy any 3 of those soleus methods with the wall, kettlebell, or machine, and challenge that soleus with whatever you've got. Of course, in addition to straight and bent knee calf raises are tibialis raises for the opposite side of the calf. So if you're doing quality strength training for all 3 of those basic areas, I think you're already ahead of the game, doing a great job, regardless of what equipment you're using. Lower leg form tends to be easier than upper leg exercises, but here are a couple tips I've noticed over the years. Number 1 is just to pause at the bottom and at the top of each rep. This is an area that's very easy to lift more weight with the bounce, which is totally fine, but this is our chance to get strength and flexibility at the same time. So for the purposes of these basic exercises, I think there's great results to be had by thinking less about the load, more about what can you embrace in that stretch position and hold in that top position. And number 2, the KOT calf raise seems to be the toughest form to get down. First off, only reach your knee over your toe as far as you feel good, and then try to have nothing else move in your body except that calf raise. So rather than rushing, slow down, try to do only that calf raise with nothing else moving, because there could be a tendency to avoid and get out of that position. It's a hard working position to stay in. And for further coaching, my job for 6+ years has been trying to make ATG affordable. You can see all our programs, ask your own questions, send your own form videos with under 24-hour response 7 days a week for $49.50 a month with no long-term contract. And at map.atgforcoaches.com, there may even be an ATG coach near you now. Thank you for studying up today.